origin story. Oh yeah, and then watch him chop up the fire. Movie and TV show reviews that you need. Film threats on fire, we're planting the seeds. Film threat, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the fun, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. From blockbusters to indie gold. Oh yeah, Chris and Alan break the mold. Pop your corn, turn down the lights. Get ready.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome for a special edition of Film Threat After Dark. Today on the show, our reaction to Superman, a James Gunn film. We will talk about it. Let's go. Let's start the show. I'm very tired. We're doing it. Let's go. Film Threat. Hey, Alan.
Alan.
Oh, wait. Yeah, should I do that? Oh, fine. I'll take you off. That's what you get. Let's go. Come on.
I asked Chris Gore if my AI could promote my new movie. He said, of course, so long as I helped look for his friend Alan. How could I say no? Now, to my Film Threat fans and my haters, go out on July 25th and watch the Fantastic Four First Steps. Okay, now, Mr. Ing, Alan.
I forgot. I forgot to.
By the way, did you get a bunch of Disney trailers before the movie?
No, we had. I don't know. We only had 3 trailers. I was shocked. 3 trailers right to the movie. They did not waste time.
Yeah, we had Cat in the Hat and 2 Disney trailers.
That's weird.
Yeah,
that is strange.
Interesting.
But I'm excited to talk about this, and we do have some special guests. Let's bring them on.
Bring them on. Yeah, we hate everything.
Not really. Hey, Derek Anderson, the DA, and the Angry Badger, who also saw Superman. We all saw it. So wait, I don't even know where to start.
I don't either.
I don't know where to start because there is so much to talk about.
I guess we can say that my thoughts are as disjointed as that movie was. Okay, sorry. We'll start.
Yes,
Right.
Should we just go around and say where we stand on this movie?
Let's just say hi to
I'm
everybody
still
out there.
sussing myself out, Alan. but
Jerry
yeah.
D. Sills became a member, and so did Jacob Douglas became a member. Thank you so much. I say we start, and I don't know. Do we have like a banner to?
We doing spoilers?
No spoilers.
No.
I
Okay.
think.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil.
There is okay. I just gotta set this up. I gotta queue it up. I have to queue it up. First reactions. Let's go around the horn. What did you think? Your first reaction to the film?
DA, you want to go first?
My first reaction was on the high end of mid. That's what I said. High end of mid. There's a lot to enjoy. There's a lot to like. There's also a lot not to like.
Yes.
I think your point of disjointed, Badger, 100%. I think it got off to an extraordinarily slow start. By the middle of the movie, I was liking it a little bit more, and then they kind of went back to the beginning stuff, and I'm like, all right, it's just there doesn't seem to be a nice flow to this movie. You know,
Did you ever latch on? I kept waiting to okay, I'm in the groove, and I never got there. So just 2 things, because I was trying to suss it out. When it kept being called a comic book, it is a comic book movie. But the issue is, instead of, hi, Neurotic, I hope you come on. Instead of lovingly looking at that comic in each panel, it's like someone just flipped through it. That's how quickly, yes.
Yep.
And boy, I wanted to like this more than I did. Like I said, a lot to like, a lot not to like.
Yeah.
Well, I will say my audience was loving it.
Were you?
Mine too.
Mine too. They loved it. This movie, I think, is more geared towards kids. I think it's more for kids. I think it's a Gen Z Superman. I think David Cornsweet is a really good Superman. And the bit parts were like, I like Jimmy Olsen. I thought that was great. Beck Bennett, small, like, but it was so all over the place. It felt like a cut down of a 3-hour movie. There's a huge lore breaking thing I'm not like.
So upset. Okay,
And
good. I thought I was going to be
you know
alone.
what one. You know
What
what
a
I
one.
was
disservice.
waiting for them to fix that. I'm like, they need to
Nope.
fix this.
If
I
it had
haven't.
been-
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Okay,
had it been
let's
fixed,
just
that's
all
one
right.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, here I'll tell you what I thought.
No spoilers.
Okay,
Alan.
let's hear. Let's
look,
hear.
look, it's no secret. I'm not a
Gary
DC
may join.
I'm not a DC guy at all. But I enjoyed the movie. I had fun. I will say I hate the marketing, because the marketing has screwed up this movie for me.
We saw the first hour, by the way. That's when I was watching. The first hour is every clip and trailer literally edited together, and like there's no
Yes.
bridging moments. I saw the first hour. Maybe
I
that's
said this
also
in
why.
my out of the theater review. I said the exact same
So
thing.
quick.
I said I wish they had peeled back on the trailers, because there's so much. All the moments that I really liked are in the trailer.
Yes,
so it's like
or clips,
God
and at
damn,
the
like,
end,
if you guys had just peeled back like
Oh,
2 or
good.
3 trailers ago,
I'm
you
gonna
were
say
in a
it
good
better-
spot. You know,
better,
it's like,
better than Man of Steel. That's
I'd rather watch
Man.
Man of Steel. Sorry, go ahead. Hi, Gary.
I'm
Gary.
iffy on that one. What's
Hey,
up,
Gary.
Gary?
Hey,
I'm very iffy on that. I'm very iffy on Man of Steel versus this. I'm gonna have to see it again to make that assessment. But right now,
Different
I'm
movies.
like, I might be in Man of Steel's camp.
what's weird is I had fun. It was
Yeah.
a fun, lighthearted for children Superman that I have so many nitpicks, and the huge lore breaking thing.
I don't like it.
I do not like it at all.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
What a
Okay, of
disservice.
Of course you
but-
don't.
Yeah, put it in
Just-
the,
we
put it
have
in the
to
private
talk-
chat. Put it in
All
the
right.
private-
Well, Gary and I were texting. Go ahead. You guys talk about it.
I will let you guys finish. Hi, chat. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Something he already did in another movie, and there's a whole Invincible series about. But I digress. I digress. Let's just say it's not good.
Look, there's a message in the beginning of the film, which I thought was great with Bradley Cooper, and who played Lara.
Anna Sarafan, or
She was in Westworld.
Yeah. So you see Jor-El and Lara, Kal-El's parents, speaking in, I think it was a Kryptonian by way of Hebrew. It really felt like, am I wrong?
No.
No,
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
thinking of Wonder
Superman is
Woman.
Moses.
I don't speak
mean,
Hebrew, so I can't say.
Yeah. So, anyways, giving like this message, and then you find out later the rest of the message is obtained, translated as, "You are going to the planet Earth to take over." Wait, what? And I thought at the end it would be like the real translation
And have
is
a
love.
harem. You
Yeah,
will
have
have
a harem.
you will have
You're
many
supposed-
wives to
He's
spread the
grooming
seed
us.
of Krypton.
He's grooming us. That's what Lex says.
It's like, what the hell? That is
This-
worse than Clark letting Pa Kent getting sucked up in a tornado. That is
Yes.
worst.
Facts.
It was.
Facts.
and unlike
they
Birthright,
didn't-
where it's shown to be fake, this is shown to be real.
But they didn't fix it. I thought at the end
I
they would
thought
correct it.
I knew they were going to fix this at the end. I was like, when he was laying, I don't want to spoil anything. I feel like I'm about to
Yeah.
spoil some shit.
Yeah,
But-
I feel like we are.
Spoiling
Yeah, like,
everything.
I mean, the whole
At the
harem thing
end,
is a big.
it's like-
spoiler.
they got to fix this. Gunn, what are you doing? You know,
I feel like
what are you doing, bro?
I feel like if there's a sequel, direct sequel to this,
there will be.
they'll have to fix it. It just is. It's so. I hate it.
Yeah, it
Hate
feels
it.
like they're leaving it for a sequel, and that's a horrible storytelling decision. That is
Yeah.
just an utterly horrible storytelling.
I feel like I
decision.
didn't get to see him be Superman. He's either getting beat up
Hey, did
or he's passionately talking about something. But
no,
Good.
no. But like we know, we're not going to say what they are. Okay,
Yeah.
we've already spoiled enough. But there's a couple of post-credit scenes that they didn't show
Yes.
for the fan screening, so we did not get to see them. They will be shown to you guys when you go and see them, whatever they are.
Is that real?
I
Really?
know. I
What?
know. Well, I know for a fact there's 2 post-credit scenes because we've talked about it on the Nooner, and then I've
Yes.
heard the shills who got to see it early. Not all of them, but 99% of the shills who got to see it mention them. So I'm thinking they have to be in there, but maybe not. Maybe they took them off.
the
You-
two we got were not.
They cut out a lot. You can tell. They
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah,
they
definitely.
cut out Crypto getting the crap. We know about this. Crypto
Yeah.
getting the crap kicked out of him.
Which they should have kept in because
they should have kept
Ultraman
in.
has so little
Yeah.
to define him as a character, and his scenes are just
Well,
barely in it.
that's everything. Listen, I'm sorry I missed how you guys feel about it, but
I think you can guess.
I think the superhero movie had a good run. I think this month is going to decide it. And like, shit, I don't know. This movie can make a ton of money. I have no idea. This is going to be the most polarizing movie of the year. I thought that was going to be 28 years later, but it's actually going to be this one by far. The discourse on this is actually worse than Israel-Palestine online. And it will remain so. I mean, like, I'm seeing it right now play out. And I really, really, really wanted this to be good. I had everything out of my head when I got into the theater. All the minutia was gone. I was with my kid and his friend and my wife, and I'm like, I'm gonna enjoy a Superman movie. This is great. I'm like, was really excited. And as it played out, I'm like, it was a disjointed mess. The casting is good. David Cornsweet is good despite his lazy eye, which I couldn't take my eye off of.
Right.
Which is not just that flying scene, folks. It's everywhere. Poor guy. But he seems like such a nice guy, and he really does embody Superman. But they just never let him be Superman.
Okay, good. So I'm not insane. I felt like he never actually got to be
his hero
Superman.
moments are taken by other characters. Mr. Terrific has arguably the best superhero moment in it. Mr. Terrific's good. Guy Gardner's good. Lois is good. Like and Lex at time. There's a moment. I'm not going to say it is. There's a badass Lex moment. There, and you know what I'm talking about. I'm like, oh wow, okay.
A hot girl is super forgettable, and she keeps screaming, even though she doesn't have screaming powers. It didn't understand why she was doing that.
Really,
that was weird.
They were trying to balance, and I really, man, I want to praise them for trying. Okay, so give them an A for effort for trying to be a Silver and Bronze Age comic book and being a Saturday morning cartoon come to life. But you still, when you're doing that in live action, you still need to bring some sophistication.
The exposition, the dialogue on the nose. This is so
How about that line? That line. Sorry, there will be spoilers. That line at the end. Liberals and conservatives can agree upon. We hate Lex Luthor.
Arabian Trump.
Oh, dude. It's not woke. Like at all, like in the least bit. This is not a woke movie. Don't let that narrative get out there at all. It really, really just tries to be a fun movie for everyone. And I think any criticisms or praise will come completely on the filmmaking process and the storytelling, as it should be. And I know Yellow Flash came out there and said he liked it. I know others I've talked to, I won't say who they are, hated it. With the intensity of 10,000 Suns. So it is kind of, my wife liked it. My son Logan liked it. And I think I agree with Chris. I think it'll play way better to kids. My theater was pretty quiet, but I'm also kind of in the burbs. My theater was full though, and it had people dressed up as Superman in it. So they were fired up, but not a clap at the end. Nothing.
When they kids, out. Normies, Marvel fans, I think they will all enjoy it. All the Gunn fans will.
I think Marvel fans are going to love this. Yeah, I think DC fans are going to be a little disappointed.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of my position. I'm not a DC fan. I read it, but I'm a Marvel guy. And
if you wanted people,
I liked it. I had fun. But this is definitely a James Gunn movie. The other thing is it's very different. I'm expecting Superman of the past. I'm getting the DC universe on screen, and I'm not sure I really like it.
You got Asian representation though, Alan.
Yeah. Is it so hard? Is it so hard to put Asians in your movie? Thank you, Warner Brothers. You did it. You did what Disney couldn't do. You did what Universal couldn't do. You just hire a couple of Asians. In fact, you did the right thing. You put them behind the computers. You had them.
He was an Asian boss.
He saved the Asian lady.
Yeah. It's so easy to do.
One thing I know James Gunn is not. He's not hot phobic. It was weird to see women in dresses, mini skirts, high heels and cleavage with that cat, whoever
Cat Grant.
from Cat Grant
Cat
from the
Grant,
Daily.
Grant, Miss Tessmacher.
I like
Miss
Jimmy Olsen.
Tessmacher had an outfit that was kind of a throwback to the original Miss Tessmacher, you know, the sort of North Pole outfit. Anyways,
Oh yeah.
I feel like he was trolling Marvel with sexy women, like
And
just
they
women allowed to be women.
And Clark and Lois, or Superman and Lois, they were macking out. I mean, they were doing tonsil hockey there.
Yeah,
There's
there's
some
romance.
heteronormativity. Yes,
I like their political arguing scene in the full context it plays, but Superman is very young and naive in this movie. I would love to have Batman yell at him.
Yeah,
but
He's 3 years
a little,
He's a young
a little
Superman.
too.
a little too for me. I completely understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to make him more relatable, but they just went way too far.
Very modern day.
The problem I
modern
think is that Superman is an alien from another planet. You know, he's supposed to be kind of not relatable, and they're trying to make him relatable. And that fits in the Marvel universe because to me, DC has always been like aspirational heroes, like guys that I aspire to be to, where, you know, like Marvel is more like guys, you know, like I know Peter Parker, you know, I can relate to Peter Parker versus, you know, I can't relate to Superman. You know, so I aspire to be somebody on that level, like a larger than life figure. That's what I think DC has always been to me anyway. And trying to normalize and make Superman relatable, it just doesn't work. So I feel like that's where they kind of dropped the ball. That's why we didn't get any Superman, solid Superman moments where Superman is Superman, you know, because that's the Superman we've all known, you know, as we've grown up. We've known Superman just to be that dude, and he's not that dude at all in his movie.
But I mean, that's the problem is you have in movies you have to make your protagonist relatable. You have to be able to connect with it. Otherwise, you don't have a movie. And so he did what he did.
He did what he did, and it was very James Gunn.
Yeah,
but and I like James Gunn, but after watching, I think this is going back to Slither. I think this might be his worst movie.
What did you think of Ma and Pa Kent?
Oh, awful!
I thought they were. I thought they were bad.
They overplayed it. They overplayed it.
Well, the only scene I mean, I chuckled at a couple scenes, right? And I think we could all just relate to when this isn't a huge spoiler. Sorry, when Martha is leaning over the phone and talking to Clark and going, "Are you okay, honey?" You know, and she's like yelling. I was like, "That's talking to my mom on the phone every day." Yeah. So I chuckled at that part, but there wasn't enough of them. The Pa Kent scene you saw, was the Pa Kent scene. That was pretty much it. Yeah, and then reviewers went out and repeated that word for word as their review. Soups, looking at you, buddy.
They were a bit of a caricature.
10 out of 10. If they had done this, 10 out of 10.
Right.
Yeah, it needed more cleavage.
Yeah.
Hold on. You got to take that banner off.
I'll take the banner.
There we go. Now we're talking.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she was great. It was, look, it's
a good Lois.
There is so much to nitpick. Like,
but
much. I liked the comic bookness of it. But it felt rushed. It felt like
super
flipping through a comic.
No pun intended.
Reading a comic, you know.
I want a sequel, but not with Gunn. The whole time I kept waiting, like, man, I want a sequel so he can just be Superman.
Yeah, I think the best thing you can say about this movie is there is something good in there if it wasn't written and directed by James Gunn.
Yeah,
he's not right for Superman. He is just not right for this character.
I hated the dog too. I'm sorry.
Crypto.
I like Crypto. I thought Crypto that was just enough Crypto.
Yeah, he really didn't get in the way, at least as far as I'm concerned. He was there. He showed up. He did some stuff. He left. It's like, all right, cool.
And he was a plot device. He was definitely a plot device.
He was that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can say that. You can definitely say that. Why am I in the
in the middle?
Okay. Yeah, we'll flip it around.
I feel uncomfortable there.
We're gonna. Okay.
Yeah, that's better. Put me down.
You can put me on the bottom.
DA and I belong here. Thank you, Lord Gary. Thank you.
No, it's by views.
So let me ask you guys: does this set the DCU up at all? Like, do you like the setup with the Justice Gang, and like all of that shit? Like, are you excited for what's next? Because next is Supergirl.
Not really.
No.
Yeah,
I am, but you guys are harshing my vibe here.
Sorry.
You like her depiction, Alan?
I'm not sure
Dude,
about
I mean-
Supergirl at the end. What'd you think of
Oh my God.
Supergirl?
That was
I
so
mean,
cringy,
really?
man. That was one of the cringiest things I've seen in my life.
It was.
Man. That was
It
Back
was
on.
like they're gonna make a whole movie with that character.
Based on a
Well,
Tom
Jason-
King story.
Jason Momoa, of course, the bloated Lobo. That'll be.
Yeah, hopefully he works. I saw him at the Ozzy concert. He needs to the gym a little bit.
Maybe post shooting. I hope.
Well, it's already shot, right? It's in the can. It's done.
Oh yeah, it's in the can. You're right.
done.
It's in the
We're
can.
done. Yeah,
And
it's
it's great
done.
casting as Lobo, but like, and I like Millie Alcock as Supergirl. I think that's good casting too. But just basing it on a Tom King story is just bad.
That and then Clayface. It's not a lot for me to latch on to.
No.
Wasn't Clayface Matt Reeves universe, or is that?
Yeah, it's going to be in Elseworlds. I don't know if it's Matt Reeves in particular, but it's
Right,
definitely
so
going to be
hard to
Elseworlds
keep
because that's
track.
not confusing at all.
Right. Because we saw that one in Creature Commandos, but they said it might not be that Clayface. And then there's.
Hey, Frank Grillo was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
Well,
both
yes,
his
he
scenes.
was.
I did like both of his scenes too.
Why wasn't his hair white like in the Creature Commandos? I guess maybe for optics he
He
died.
had it dyed between Creatures Commandos and
and being elected.
And Peacemaker.
Because he's a
Peacemaker.
man, and that's
Oh
what
my
men
god,
do.
yeah, Cena.
Peacemaker.
Which Peacemaker?
oh yeah.
Right? Because there's going to be more than one universe. There's the DCEU
Well, Peacemaker takes place right after this
Yeah,
because it's coming out after. It's coming out in August, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I did not like season 1 of Peacemaker, but might
How
not be
about
in
the
minority.
monkeys and super shit? That all turned out to be true.
It's
true.
true.
I
It
know,
was
it is
true.
true.
It looked better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Like,
There
when
are,
it was
there are
described.
things that they have to bring in that is true to real life and modern.
Again, that's like the comic booky stuff that everybody's been saying, like the weird,
Yeah.
wild, sci-fi, crazy comic book shit. And I was like, okay, I like the idea that they're trying to do this. I just don't think the execution works.
I wish it
It's
didn't
like
look that
we need
way.
somebody else to do this. And
Yeah.
James Gunn, as much as I think James Gunn, I like some of his stuff. He's very hit and miss, in my opinion. It's like some stuff I love. This left me like worse than Guardians 2. Like I walked out of Guardians 2 like, come on, man. Like you could have nailed this story. And he did the exact same thing. Had a lot of sci-fi weird shit going on in Guardians 2. Exactly the same thing he did here. And he just doesn't know how to execute it the way it needs to be done.
Yeah, that's why I'm starting to think he's a one-trick pony. I think Guardians is his best film, and he's starting to get brought down by the whole gunness of it all, and he's going to turn into a caricature of himself, and it doesn't feel like he's evolving as a director. And we don't have that many great directors, but you could definitely go back to Nolan or even Denis, whatever his last name is. You could see an evolution in their directing, and whatever criticisms we had, like Nolan was really dry and didn't have his levity's gotten a little bit better. We'll see if that happens with Denis Villeneuve, whatever his name is. But I'm seeing a de-evolution with James Gunn to really lean back, and that the humor does not hit most of the time. It just doesn't.
This is the Gunverse. It's decidedly the Gunverse. It started with Suicide Squad. This is the tone, and this is the tone going forward. Everything is going to be in this tone, and so it's either going to get better or it's going to get worse. And the feeling I get is y'all think it's going to get worse.
I like the Suicide Squad better than I like this movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll just say I agree with you, Gary. The first Guardians movie, his best movie. It's like
I like
start
the first
to
Guardians.
finish.
Love it.
The first Guardians, I love that movie, and the soundtrack to Guardians is a banger. It's so good. And
It's been something to that movie, but now he's bringing these playlists to every movie. He's doing.
you know about this, Gary? Okay, so they did this playlist on Spotify where they James Gunn introduced playlists for characters, and he
Superman
actually
specifically
does
mentions
commentary about each character, like what their playlist is. I think I can play this right here. I can play. No. So he went through each character, like Clark Kent, Superman, Lois Lane, like Miss Tessmacher, and made playlists. I'm sure he didn't do it, or maybe he did. Who knows? And then he did the little intro for each person's playlist, and they're all kind of lame. They're all lame. This is on Spotify if you have it. Just look these up.
Louis, I didn't hate the movie. People saying we hate it. We didn't hate it. I just fundamentally disagree with some of those choices, especially around the parents. And other than that, yeah, I never latched on. I never got caught up in it. I never had any scene hit me with the same emotions that other Superman scenes. I'm sorry. Russell Crowe saying, you can save them, Cal. You can save all of them. I never had one of those moments of like, get them when I should have.
Right.
And at the end, it did feel like Minecraft slop. And David was great, but I feel like I'm talking about a Brandon Routh. Yeah, he was great. Go put him in a better Superman movie.
Yeah. It never slowed down to have a moment where, it would just be serious for a moment. Freaking be serious for a moment. Show the real stakes. I mean, when like Metropolis is splitting because a black hole is like, that is just like, come on, let's actually talk about the stakes and lives. I don't know. It felt just goofy.
Yeah, you could have that stuff in there. Nobody like I've read comic books. You could have monkeys with apparatuses attached to their head being trolls. I'm fine. Just explain it to me and make me feel the stakes. There's no stakes. You never felt like anybody was really in danger. That's why there's that one scene that happened that really stands out. And I'm like, okay, maybe we're going there. And then they didn't, and it doesn't need to be as dark and grim as Man of Steel or anything. But it still needs to be earnest at times, and you still need to feel inspired. And I don't hate this movie either. I feel nothing.
Yeah. Apathy.
I feel apathy when it comes to it. It's not hate. It's like, okay, I saw it and I don't hate that I saw it. It's like Amelia Perez. I hate that movie. I hate it existed. I hate that I had to watch it. I hate that I had to review it. I hated every fucking second of it. I hate that it exists. But there you go. It's your favorite movie. And damn it, it should have swept the Oscars. But like this movie, like you should feel something coming out of Superman. The score is terrible. So I knew it was going to be terrible when the shills were out going, the score was really good. It was terrible. It was legit bad. And the song choice for the end of the movie.
What the hell?
What the hell was it? I'm a punk rocker from Iggy Pop and the Teddy Bears. I'm like, that's
James Gunn, man. That's what James Gunn does. He does this dumb shit. Like,
this
it doesn't belong
thing
anywhere in Superman.
Yeah, the music. Here's what bugs me about the music. To get really specific about it, it wasn't. All it does is bring up your memories of a better Superman movie while you're hearing it. So that's what I loved about Man of Steel was they just go original score. How do you top John Williams? And it's I like them both. I like the original John Williams.
I don't want to compare it either.
Zimmer. I don't like to compare it. They're different.
But
it's funny, but I just watched Superman 4 Quest for Peace. And they did the exact same thing. They just took the John Williams score and then cut and pasted it wherever it needed to be.
Felt like such an overcorrection, like for the Snyder thing, that to the point where you removed everyone and now there's no stakes because you know it's a bunch of empty buildings. So why do I care? He's just stopping property damage.
Let me finish this thing about the score because I want to make a point. Old scores were written to the movie. They literally performed it to a movie being projected. And George Lucas, the original Star Wars, he would do this with every Star Wars movie, the original trilogy, that is. And he would recut to hit certain notes. And these movies now that use old music, old nostalgia scores, they're not written to anything. They're just there to remind you. They're not this beat happens and this beat happens and it hits when there's an action. They're not written to anything happening on screen. So it's just gobbledygook.
Yeah, here's what bothered me about the score in this one, because the John Williams score is orchestral.
Yeah,
a legit orchestra is doing the soundtrack. This one, it's all done in a studio. And you know the difference. And a studio will never replace an actual orchestra.
Right.
No, listen to those soundtracks and you can hear somebody breathe in. You can hear somebody go, and they get their little bows ready, and you can hear like little sounds, and it just makes it better. It makes it more pure. I guess. And Chris, you brought it up. It's just too expensive to do that, which
it is.
That's ridiculous. You're spending $300 million in a movie. You can't get an orchestra.
Really?
It's not like, yeah, musicians don't make a ton of money. What are you talking about? They used to get the London Symphony Orchestra. Remember, it had to be John Williams and the London Symphony Orchestra. Now it's some dudes, whatever. What computer program are they using now? Whatever computer program they're using. That's it.
Garage Band.
Garage Band.
Right. And it sounds like it. And it really brings the movie down. It does. And I mean, a good score recently, The Batman. The Batman has a great score. It is fantastic soundtrack. And that's a better movie than Superman, by the way.
Yeah.
The Batman's a better movie than Superman.
Better narrative through line, definitely.
And it sucks because it's everything I wanted. I wanted like a bright, hopeful Superman, and it turns out it was definitely bright, and it's not toned down colors and everything. And there was a lot of talk of hope. I heard a lot of word salad, but they didn't really deliver it because I shouldn't walk out of a Superman movie as a massive Superman fan feeling nothing at all, and you're right, Chris. It's a movie for Gen Z. I understand I'm old, but I still enjoy comics. I enjoy Silver Age comics. I enjoy Bronze Age comics, and they have more sophisticated storytelling than this movie. It has more impact. There's no emotional impact, and anytime they get close to doing it, there's a joke.
Nicholas Hoult. Yeah. Did you like Nicholas Hoult? As
I did. His voice bothered me in the trailer, but he's actually good in like the cast is good. They were wasted on a bad script. But Nicholas Hoult can be a great Lex Luthor.
None of my complaints are with the actual performances of the characters. It's simply the things they had them doing in the editing. I feel like there's a whole nother movie out there in the editing room and with a different music.
Yeah.
Well, like it seems like there was a big something they cut out at the beginning, because how they get to the thing that Lex Luthor set Superman up for, it feels like such a rush job. Like they rushed to that instead of taking their time and building up to
the final conclusion. Why he's doing what he's doing.
Well, not even that. Just so much just setting Superman up for a fall. It's like, hey, take some time. Like build up to that. We're brought into this movie to believe that Superman is this paragon of virtue and hope, and in like 5 minutes he goes down. It's like, really, everybody turned on him that fast? Like they turned on him super fast. Yeah. Like it happened in the blink of an eye.
That was ridiculous.
Yo, it's like
because that would never happen in real life.
Superman this entire time, and all of a sudden you see one article. He's dead to me. He's dead to me. And people are throwing like that scene in the trailer where the can hits his head.
I think.
Have you never seen people get canceled?
It was Lex Luthor and Tucker Carlson. Everyone just instantly canceled him.
I don't want to give away too much, but here's how they did it, Alan. There is a way to do that. You're 100% right. Use those monkeys.
I mean, I know how they did it.
But have Twitter up, but don't have a bunch of people watching news screens everywhere. And then after he just stops a fucking kaiju, and then they go, fuck this Superman guy.
You're not into the technicals of it, but the idea that someone can get canceled in an instant. I mean,
but that's James. That's where I think James Gunn. Crying out loud. That's where I think James Gunn is putting a little bit too much of his own life into this shit because of everything that happened to him, man, and all of this. Everybody canceling him. I think that's James Gunn speaking through the movie. And
here's
saying,
how you do that
unfair
scene.
What happened to me? You remember what happened to me? This is so unfair. What's happening to Superman? Just like I felt. And it's like
that wasn't true.
Bro.
You spend a couple of minutes, Alan. Superman just sitting with Lois, and they're on their social medias, and all of a sudden their phones start blowing up, and then you see new stuff, and then you see Clark. I know. We'll just have them instantly turn on him in the middle of a town square where everybody just so happens to be watching the fucking news. Which
I do 4 scenes at once is what we got there. So he's just like,
it reminded me of the news exposition. They do it all the time. Remember in X-Men when the senator is walking up the beach and a guy's watching the news on a hot dog stand in the beach.
His little teeth.
Yeah. We're just plugging it in.
It's really rushed. And honestly, the movie could have been longer. You could have put a little bit more time into this, another 15 minutes, and just build up some of these storylines that you're trying to put into the film. and it would have been better, in my opinion. You know, it was what, 2 hours? I think 2 hours.
I'd rather be too long, like a F1, and be good than be 2 hours and be disjointed. It feels like BVS in the beginning, where it's like, where is all the shit cut out of this? Where's my ultimate cut of this movie with all the other scenes put back?
Yeah.
It felt rushed.
Yeah.
It felt rushed. But
like the Marvels.
Yes.
You know, where they just cut out so much stuff that you're just moving and moving.
Yeah.
And
to answer Ryan's question, what was the last one?
We lost it.
We lost
Does the suit look better in the movie?
Better,
yes. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. It does look better in the movie. I will say this is like Superman for Gen Z or the TikTok generation. It really
Mark
feels
from
that.
Variety screwed them so bad with that political shit. It is political in the sense that like he's involved in geopolitics. That's the politics, and that's completely fine.
But it's not woke at all.
By the way,
what he said, what the bullshit he said is that, you know, MAGA hates this. Or, how do you feel about MAGA? Like that's the crap that he said, and it was a total spin when they put that headline up. That pissed me off, man. That really pissed me off because they have an agenda over there at Variety. All right, they have an absolute agenda to shit on whoever they hate, and they tried to turn Superman into this movie, which honestly is not that great of a movie, but nevertheless, they tried to spin this story into something about MAGA, and it's like it's nothing in there. There's nothing political about this film, nothing at all.
There's no immigrant talk or anything. They have They have fake Russia and brown Ukraine. That's pretty much it.
And their president analogy, but you could go either way with that one.
Dude, he is such a joke in it, though. It's comical.
But here's what I walked away with. But Superman is Trump. Is a Trump. The part where basically he's trying to do good, and then the mainstream media and the deep state put out all the news to
fake news.
Fake news.
Fake
Superman is the authoritarian. Superman is the one who wants to take over the world.
Yep.
When it's actually the deep state who wants to do it instead.
Highly illegal what he did. Oh, look, crypto.
This is
crypto.
Crypto.
Hi, crypto.
Oh, I've met that dog before. That's a good doggo.
Chris, don't punch it.
Whoa, yes.
They should have kept that scene in.
It's a good doggy.
It's just hanging out here now.
It's gonna be fun watching the discourse online over this one. It's gonna be all over the place.
The one thing that I really did not like, I mean, the one thing,
too many Asians.
Too many Asians. But the thing with the two countries, look, it was a plot line. It was Lex Luthor's big plan. Way too much screen time to that. Yeah. Way too much. And it was all exposition. It was
racism.
Gonna beat X-Ray Girl to it.
But they kept cutting back to this thing with these two countries.
Were those people just standing out in the desert the whole time?
Yeah,
waiting for the movie to come back to them. They're just standing out in the desert.
We never, like, whatever happened with that happened off screen, right? So we never saw it. We weren't invested. I feel like have something happen to people we care about. It never felt serious. It didn't stop to be serious.
Yeah, there's no stakes.
So it reminded me of reading a forgettable comic where I enjoyed it. I want to see it again.
I am going to see it Saturday. I didn't cancel my tickets to try and suss out.
Oh yeah.
I want to, but like the audience I saw it with there were people dressed as Superman. They were giving out capes. If you went and did an interview for, like, they wanted audience reaction. They'll do a
like it.
Yeah. So they were doing people were into it. There was a guy that came in a full costume like one of the Superman robots. I mean, it was nuts. So
mine crypto was the big star in my
they clapped at all the crypto scenes.
A lot of laughing, a lot of
got him emotionally. The reaction in my theater was very kind of there was a lot of clapping, there was some laughter here and there, but it wasn't like sustained. You know, it's like some of the moments that I thought, hey, they're probably going to laugh at this. They didn't really laugh. There was applause at the end, but yeah, it seemed like the audience just kind of walked out of there. Like I talked to a couple of people as we were walking out and they said, it was okay. You know, and they said, it's all right. You know, no, like, oh my God, that was so amazing. I got to go back and watch it again. It was none of that, you know, and I think that's what the DCU needed. They needed people to be jazzed up and hyped up, you know, because comic book movies have kind of been letting everybody down as of late. And so they needed something to really make an impact. And this ain't it.
I want to know what the moment is. What are people going to reference as? Oh my God, when blank happened, I felt such, and it was so good. And I'm going to be rewatching that over and over again.
I'm really trying to, like, I saw the Rotten Tomato score. I haven't read any reviews. I've just, you know, I saw the Rotten Tomato score and I'm like, what are they looking at? Like, I gotta go and read a few reviews to see what the hell it is that people.
I just meant there's no Batman warehouse scene, right? There's no like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You could save them. You can save all. There's
like a badass scene. It's just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm struggling to think of one.
Metamorpho. How'd you feel about Metamorpho? Just in the brief, you don't have to spoil what he does.
I actually liked Metamorpho.
Oh, is that his name?
Yeah, I actually liked Metamorpho's. You know. Setup. Yeah, like look at that, man. 86%. Like, what movie are y'all watching?
Yeah, it's hanging in there. 86%.
I gotta go back and watch it, but I'm pretty sure he called Metamorpho Mr. Elemental.
He called him
that was it.
Yeah, something that Element meant.
He said he can metamorphize,
but he can metamorphize. So he didn't call him Metamorpho, but he's definitely Metamorpho.
Verified audience scores are all like 4 and 5 stars.
Gunn was right in the sense that he packed it full of comic book shit. So yes, every character was a comic book reference, and there was the mural in the Hall of Justice. We'll have plenty to go back, but at the
the Hall of Justice looked like the Hall of Justice.
That was fucking awesome, man. I love that shit.
That was pretty cool. So
look, I said this in my Out of the Theater review. I said this movie kind of, like every Superman movie, honestly, even like, you know, Brandon Routh, Man of Steel, it just brings out the kid in me. Like when I hear that theme and I'm sitting in a theater, in a movie theater, I feel like a little kid again. I feel like I'm still 8 years old with my Superman underoos on, you know, sleeping in my bed. I feel that
still have Superman underoos on.
It just
wearing some right now.
Yeah.
I wanted to love this. And maybe I went in with too high of expectations, but it just doesn't deliver. I give it a 6.5 out of 10. That's kind of where I'm at.
I think I'm at a 6.5 right now too. Yeah.
What was the Rotten Tomato score on
86%?
86.
Oh yeah.
Critics.
Okay. Well then.
Oh shit! No, that's the Thunderbolts.
Give it time. Nathan Fillion was good as Guy Gardner.
Yes, he was.
He was good.
Mr. Terrific was good.
Mr. Terrific was good.
Mr. Terrific.
And he had a Chinese haircut.
I thought Hawk Girl was horrible.
Hawk Girl was bad. The engineer's acting was terrible.
Swearing in Spanish. I didn't know the engineer was Spanish.
Yeah, that was weird.
There was cussing in it, which was
a lot of cussing.
Mierda.
Can we have a moratorium on kicking our main male protagonists in the nuts or kneeing them in the nuts, please?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing is Ultraman was a total disappointment. Like he was just nothing.
I like Black Noir.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It was Black Noir.
I think we all guessed
the
it.
reveal of Ultraman was. I'm like, who is that? What is that? And then you realize, oh, that's what they're doing. And the fact that I had to wait a while to figure out what was going on tells you a lot about
Steph.
Hi, Steph.
Oh, Steph, we got to talk. What the fuck is that?
Did you put Twilight stuff?
Wait,
what the fuck? What the fuck is this shit?
Team Edward?
What the fuck is this shit?
I heard you were a Doctor Who fan.
No.
Okay? And I was just like, oh, look what I found. Gary will love
Judy
this.
Whittaker.
Get him, Steph.
Invite people into your sanctum sanctorum and then desecrate it. Now I got to burn it. I've done all this work in here and I got to burn this place.
Violated his
fair,
fortress.
I figured you were going to either burn it or smash it with a hammer. And I was like, oh, I want to see that. But I did take these guys back.
Thank you for getting your Twilight stuff out here before I did horrible things to them.
Steph, what did you think? What you have thoughts? I know.
I do. I love the cast. They have great chemistry, and I think that is one thing with this movie that people will love and notice right away. The cast is great. They have amazing chemistry together. You kind of saw that on the press tour. Press tour, David Cornsweet was great. The story is just not good though. I'm watching, everything is moving so fast. So I was just like, okay, this is actually like, it's not too bad. But I think like the more you think about it, the more I'm just like, yeah, it wasn't a good story. It moves so quickly that it's like, oh, look at this shiny thing. 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 Look at this over here. Look at that over here. And you're just like, your brain can't keep up and like actually figure out that, oh, yeah, that's not actually good. No, I don't like that. I don't like that either until it's over. And then you're rethinking about the movie and you're like, yeah, I didn't really like that at all. David Cornsweet is great. I really loved David Cornsweet as Superman. I just don't like the movie. I just don't like the script around him.
What do you think it's about? What was the point of this movie? Because I'm trying to not say that it was the exact plot of Batman versus Superman, i.e. Lex Luthor sets up a plan to discredit and destroy Superman. And the only difference is there was no Batman to frame this time. It was simply another government that he used as proxy, but it is essentially the same plot.
His whole plan just reminded me about BVS. Lex's plan at the end when he was talking about it, I was just like, okay, Jesse Eisenberg.
Not that that's not comic accurate. Just saying.
Did you notice there's a sub-production company called Troll Content?
I saw that.
Troll Content that came up twice. Is that Gunn's company? Because people have sub companies that, have pieces of the movie. It could be. Troll Content sounds like something
That's the first thing I thought of when I saw it. I'm like, oh, are trolls in his head so much where he names his contracting company, his corporation to hide his the money for budgeting this film? Troll Content. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Yeah. And to the chat, I get that's the point.
We all got trolls.
We just saw that storyline.
Hey, Dante.
Hey, made it. Finally made it back. Got the worst Uber driver in the world to get me home. So.
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
Hey, so
what are we talking about?
We all gave it a 9 out of 10. What about you?
Yeah.
Honestly, man, I give it a solid 7. I was entertained. I think I might have liked it a little bit more than you guys did, just from what I've been hearing. But I guess because the bar was so low and because I didn't expect anything, it turned out a lot better than I thought it would. I mean, I trust James Gunn. I knew that it would be at the very least entertaining for the most part, but it has its problems. It has its problems. I'm not going to say it doesn't. It's
what's the gummy rating?
Yeah.
No,
yeah. Were you sober when you watched it?
No, I was absolutely. I was fairly sober. And I was fairly sober. No, and
fairly sober. Yeah, the truth comes out.
it had its problems, is what I'm saying. But even with the problems, I feel like the cast was so good that it kind of overshadowed a lot of the problems for me. I love the chemistry with David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan. I thought finally a Lois and Clark where they look like they like each other or in love with each other. Never got that from Cavill and Amy Adams, by the way. Never. So
they sure weren't making out like them.
Yeah. I mean,
that makeout scene was hot.
We're dealing with the younger, more naive Superman. This isn't the Superman that is, 10 years into being Superman, is super confident. He's a young guy. He's a young Superman. So I take that with a grain of salt. The same way I took Robert Pattinson being the Batman. It was like what, year 1, year 2. He was a young Batman. He's not going to be
year 50 by the time Batman 2 comes out. So.
Exactly.
Dark Knight Returns.
And I thought the world building was fine. I dug what he was trying to do with the Justice League. It was definitely a nod to the Giffen and Diatama's I can't even pronounce his last name. That run, the Justice League International run back in the day, back in the 90s, Metamorpho, Guy Gardner, all those guys. So for me, it was kind of cool to see that and know that he was trying to play on that. At the same time, do I feel like, they added that much to the film? Not really, but it was cool to see him. I don't know. I agree with what you guys are saying. I think that I think kids are going to love it. I think this is going to be a good date movie. Believe it or not, I think, and honestly, I think this is a comic book movie that I think women will actually like. We don't get a lot of those. I think more women will show up for this movie than they did the Marvels.
Well, I mean, I like that there are no forehead touching in this,
I know.
people kissed. There were heterosexual, like Jimmy Olsen, that whole running thread with Jimmy Olsen, that was kind of funny.
I mean, it was fun. Yeah, I did like that.
And so
they made it very clear that Jimmy Olsen fucks, right?
He's a player.
He's got game.
It was a plot point.
But you know what, Dante? I agree with the fact that I think, within this universe, this is probably like Superman's first like major scuffle, like the first time he's dealt with some major shit. He hasn't dealt with anything until this. It feels like that. He's been kind of the golden boy, at least in terms of this particular universe. He's been the golden boy for about maybe 3 years. And this is the first kind of problems that he had. And, how he handles it is kind of what we're looking at in this movie. That's basically what this movie is about. And I didn't mind that this is Superman's first major kind of struggle. I think that's what's happening in this universe. So I'm okay with that. I just don't like the way the film executed that idea.
Sure, and that's fair. And I think it was, like you guys said, disjointed in a lot of places. Was it very distracting for me? In some parts, right?
Did you latch on to anything like strong emotions? We're cooking. Like, what was? Yeah, you don't have to spoil it if it was a beginning, middle, end.
Not really, because I kind of just felt like the whole movie was a
whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I never got that moment, basically. Yeah. But again, the movie was a spectacle, right? It was a spectacle. It had some heart. It has some comedic, parts to it with Guy Gardner. I mean, there were some good things about it, right? And I think we're all saying that. We're all saying that there were some good things about it. It just has some problems. I think this movie might have been too big for James Gunn, if I'm being really honest.
Yeah.
I think James Gunn is so great when it comes to niche characters and taking a group that no one knows and making you fall in love with them and that whole deal. I think when it comes to the major big characters, he's not that guy. Even though I like the film, he's not that guy.
That's big of you to admit. So you keep saying you trust in Gunn.
No, I do, and I like the movie. I'm not saying I didn't like the film. This movie, this character might be too much for him.
Yeah. By the way, Troll Court Entertainment is James Gunn's production company.
I knew it. I knew it.
Dude.
Because the other was Saffron Company, so I think whose production company that is.
I will say this though. I did leave the film feeling like I didn't feel any excitement as far as anything coming next.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that. I felt nothing.
And that's what this film needed. This film needed to set up the next. All right.
Yeah, you don't know where it's going
after this. Yeah, like I have no interest or no excitement about the next film.
What killed it for me was when they brought in. Did you guys talk about the end? Who picks up the dog?
No.
Yeah,
we did.
We did. Yeah.
Supergirl. Spoiler, but yeah.
That killed my excitement for like the next her character. I was like,
how she acted.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I mean that's your protagonist in the next movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Character arc, guys. She's gonna start that way. Whatever the fuck they're gonna say. But yeah.
Is that from the comic? She can only get drunk on a planet with a red sun.
Well, you can't get drunk under a yellow sun, no. So
okay.
Yeah.
Yellow.
The red sun takes away their power. So
you either go naive Supergirl or you go what they're going with. College girl sobriety.
Well, you know what? Though? I feel like we already have a naive Superman. I don't think we need a naive Supergirl too. So I didn't mind so much that she's a party girl.
Yeah.
Look, I think there's replay value to this movie as well. I think for those who liked it, I think they'll go back. I think they'll catch the things that they didn't catch in the first time. And I think the box office is going to say a whole lot about whether this movie is successful. Because, Minecraft. If it does as well as Minecraft, then
we're off to the races.
Yeah, we're off to the races, and it just shows the rest of the world doesn't listen or watch our stuff.
Yeah. Like we're the old farts. We're the ones that have been watching this for 20, 30, 40, years or whatever. Is the audience is Gen Z and Gen Alpha? Are they going to be rocking with this? Are they going to flock to the theaters and watch this? Is the word of mouth going to be enough to bring them in? Are they going to be the ones that build the DCU and go forward? That's
I hope
the
it
question.
does.
Because
I hope it does.
I hope we get better films in the DCU if it does continue. I hope we get better films because this is not the best. This is not. I said this needed to be Iron Man. This needed to be a very good movie that launched the MCU and, you know, made a lot of money, got everybody interested and excited. You got a big character in Superman. You should be able to launch the DCU with Superman that connects everybody together. And me, you guys here, anybody else that was watching this, I just don't feel this does the trick. You know, I don't feel like this connects anybody. You know, this feels
but Derek, you say that, but like the theater me and Chris were in, like people were clapping, they were cheering, like
they were into it. They were into
it was really
y'all
wild.
in Burbank,
saw
though,
an
man.
early
Burbank is
preview.
different, man.
You're at the
Burbank is different.
busiest
man.
AMC ever in the
very-
whole world.
It was very
That's
muted.
true.
Home field
there was
advantage.
a few claps. Yeah, y'all Hollywood out there, man. Like, yeah, it was very muted over here in the South Bay. But I mean, honestly, again, man, it's like you gotta bring people together. The MCU did that with Iron Man. Everybody was immediately interested after, oh shit, Avengers Initiative? Well, what's this all about? And that brought everybody in, and you built the universe off of that. I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
I just
There's no
don't see
Sam
people
Jackson
rocking
at
with
the
it like
end.
that. Yeah.
They should have done the aforementioned what we thought they were going to do. There should have been a Hal Jordan or a Brainiac or something to hook me into the universe, and it was just
right.
I do agree with that, but I also think you can only do that once, right? Like the MCU did it, you can't keep doing it. Like it's kind of like we get it. There's a bigger world out there. There's a bigger universe, but we can't.
But that's what James Gunn is trying to do. He's trying to build a universe. He's doing that right now. He's trying to build.
DA has the point. DA has a point where this movie needed to be the launching pad for the.
Oh no, I do agree with that. What I'm saying though is we can't have the the one guy to pull them all together in the end kind of thing because we've already had that already.
So how do you build this? What's the next move? How do you build a DC universe out of this?
Well, it shouldn't be Clayface, right? I mean,
and it can't be Supergirl.
Supergirl and Clayface and Peacemaker season 2. That's how they're doing it.
Yeah, it should have been Batman and Wonder Woman, the Trinity, but instead we're going a different route.
Yeah.
And Anna Noriega's already doing Teen Titans because apparently her script for Supergirl was so amazing.
So, Gary, are you saying we did not see the post-credit scene?
We did not.
What? Because someone told me that.
I watched.
Hold on, the 2 post-credit scenes I saw are not the post-credit scenes, or
So I didn't see post-credit scenes.
okay, I got 2.
I got one with Superman and
2.
Mr. Terrific.
Yes, we got that.
I did not get one. The other ones that were talked about.
Well, I got basically
Wait,
Superman.
what were
That
the other
shot
ones?
of
'Cause I
Superman
thought-
sitting on the moon.
Supposedly, okay.
I
Supposedly,
got that. I got
supposedly
that,
there's
and then I
supposed to be a. Did you? There was supposedly a Hal Jordan and Brainiac one.
I did not.
Yes.
I thought those were
I
cut.
didn't get that.
Oh no, I didn't.
So maybe
see
they're
that.
cut.
The very end of the movie was Superman and Mr.
Terrific.
or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gary, I heard
Yeah.
those got cut after the last round of screenings.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah,
There you go.
but that's what I say. They maybe should not have cut that, but whatever.
Maybe not.
Yeah, that might have been a mistake.
Just
So-
since Lanterns is coming out, we're gonna see Kyle Chandler's Hal Jordan. You could have set it up just a smidge.
That's the one
When
thing
is
I'm
When
interested
is
in.
Lantern supposed to drop? When is that coming?
Next year. So they're filming it right now, and it'll be out next year. Well, depending.
A movie or a TV series?
A TV series
Okay.
on HBO Max.
TV series.
Live action or animated?
Live
what
action.
what would you guess the audience score will be for this? I think it'll be pretty high.
High.
Yeah.
It'll be high.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah,
gonna be
it'll be
high.
high.
Yeah, because my theater really loved it. And you know what
Well,
I loved is that there were a lot of kids in my theater and they were really excited about Superman. They were like jumping up and down. So I actually like that kids love this movie. I think this will do well with young kids. Maybe if Gen Alpha, like if Gen Z gets out there to see it, they might like it as well. But the little kids were jumping. They were glued to the screen. I kind of liked seeing that. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
but the
audience
audience
score
was-
will be
Logan
high,
Logan
but
liked it. Logan liked it.
Good.
So
It
my
felt-
daughter hated it. She was not.
she did.
Really?
Yeah.
Logan was 6.5 out of 10. So that's what
wow.
his score was.
Well, that's what my score is.
That's my
maybe
score,
I liked it more than I
There you
thought.
Yeah, my daughter is just not into Superman.
I wouldn't give it a 6.5 out of 10.
It just felt like a cartoon that they made into live action.
I think
Yeah.
that's
Very
for
cartoon.
just David's performances and the performances themselves. But yeah,
Yeah, the
maybe to say.
performances elevated it. You know, especially Nicholas Hoult. I really liked his performance. I thought he did a really, really good job.
But yeah, I agree with the DA. I think this had to be a fucking home run. And well, for me, it wasn't a single, but I think it, like, the overall consensus, it's a double maybe, but you're still gonna have, it is gonna be polarized, and the real world isn't Twitter. We know that. But the Snyder fans are gonna have a field day with this. They're gonna have a effing field day with this. And if it does not make more than Man of Steel adjusted for inflation, James Gunn will never ever hear the end of it. That will be brought up all the time. And you know, I would probably I prefer Man of Steel to this. So
adjusted,
same.
Isn't that like $900 million if we adjust?
That's
it
about
for inflation?
850. I already did the math on that. It needs to be about $850 million.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. Good luck.
What about Superman 3?
Lucky for James Gunn, there's nothing out this week except for this movie. So
and next week.
And the following week, there's nothing.
Week. He's got a 2-week run to run up the bag and see what he can do. But
then we get a double of Pedro Pascal. We get Eddington and Fantastic Four.
Eddington is next week, actually.
Eddington is next week. I've got that circled on my calendar.
I'm getting tickets.
I can't wait to see Hollywood's big swing at MAGA over the COVID era. That'll be fun.
God.
That'll be fun.
I'm so not looking forward to that movie.
Time goes by so quick.
I know. Do you think they'll have an even look at it? Do you think they'll take an objective look at it, Alan? At the situation?
Not based on the trailers.
No.
Yeah.
I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to bed. I gotta get up and do a Superman review. So sorry, no nooner tomorrow. That's why I'm like, Chris and I are hanging out now. This is your nooner. It's at midnight.
Yes. Well, I miss hanging out, man.
I wish I could stay on longer because this was fun. But thanks for sending me a link. Fuck you, Steph.
I hope you enjoy your present. Enjoy lighting it on. Enjoy setting it on fire.
I threw it too far away. She has been planting horrible action figures, and I didn't notice. I like a couple of them. It was weeks. I didn't notice. I'm like, wait a minute, what's an Edward doing in my office? She like hid it behind David Tennant, and she put a 13th Doctor in here. It's horrible. It's abuse.
Doing the Lord's work there, Steph.
This is my sacred area, Steph.
Elder abuse.
It's elder abuse.
When is your video coming out, Gary?
Thursday.
Thursday. Cannot wait.
I recorded an intro because I didn't need to see the movie to kind of recap all the disaster, the whole disastrous thing that's gone on with the DCEU and stuff. But yeah, me and Garrett are working on it tomorrow. And my book goes on sale on Friday at 3:00. Pre-sale, pre-order.
Okay, I just saw the cover of the book from that teaser. It looks great.
Thanks, man.
That cover is so cool.
Picture me in my little Superman costume back in the 70s when they gave you a mask, and I wore the mask for some reason because I was a kid.
Oh my god.
Yeah. The little flammable costumes that they gave us as kids that we all could just die in.
Yeah, Ben Cooper, those Ben Cooper costumes.
I know.
Yes.
Oh my god.
There'd be 50 of them on the wall, and every Halloween you'd get to pick.
And they were so bad.
They were terrible, but I loved it.
Terrible costume.
I wore that thing all the time, dude.
Running
around my house. The teaser trailer is on. I tweeted it a few hours ago.
Scrolling through your feed right now. I can't.
We have a proper trailer that'll be. I'll probably show it tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Tweet it out. We'll show it.
And see you in San Diego, by the way.
I'll see you in San Diego. We're gonna have all kinds of fun. We're doing a meetup at Big Man Comics with Gabe El Taib and all that stuff. And Dante, are you gonna be at San Diego? Well, if not, I'll see you in LA because I'll be in LA.
Yeah, it's up in the air. I might come down for Saturday night.
Here we go.
It's very short. That's it.
There it is.
It's a teaser for a teaser trailer.
It's on sale this Friday.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. Well,
cool.
Most
also,
of you guys,
we're seeing Fantastic Four that Monday.
Yeah, that's crazy that you're seeing Fantastic Four that Monday.
Yeah, we are seeing it, right,
That's
Alan?
wild.
We are seeing it.
No one else is.
You and Chris, and no one else is going.
Yeah, no one is going.
Don't look at the guy with the cowboy hat and the COVID mask on, because that's totally not me.
My God, I can't wait.
I'll see most of you guys in LA. So I'm going to be in LA before I go to Comic-Con. So let's get some dinner or something. And Steph, I'll see you soon.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody. Bye,
Take care. Thanks,
Bye.
Gary. Love you, brother.
I also built this Twilight Lego house in his
jeez.
You are I built it in his room.
You're a menace.
Oh my God.
Steph is a menace. Damn.
Just constantly trolling Gary.
You're like Lex Luthor.
So as predicted, most everyone's response is fun, good stuff, mixed. It's really mixed, because there is stuff to love, which I think the actors, like you said, Steph, so well cast. The chemistry is great. The friendships and relationships, and Superman has like two work lives, right? The work life at Daily Planet, work life with the Justice Gang. It's fun, and even the smallest characters are well cast. And I like seeing women allowed to be women in a movie instead of like, sort of forehead touching, non-sexual lameness.
Body.
Yeah,
I did like that, but you know what I didn't like? I didn't like that a lot of the men cried.
Right.
I didn't like that at all.
Mush.
Yeah.
All
Lex
the
at
men
the
cried.
end.
Like any tears that came from this were all from the men. They were all crying.
Well, it makes up for the cleavage that we got, which
Steph's not exaggerating, like literally to the point of one character cries and then the female, I'm not going to say what the female makes fun of him. Oh, we just call it. Well, I guess I gave it away. Yeah. A lot of people cry.
Mush. Hey, let's go to Soups. Why don't we do that?
You know what, Chris? I just realized.
Okay.
11:30. Yeah, I gotta bounce. I owe my audience.
No problem. Oh yeah, no. Okay, go to the DA. We'll get through these Soups and hand off to DA.
All right, appreciate it. You guys have a good one. See you.
Take care. See ya. All right, here we go.
Rod Thunderheart, member for 9 months. Hail Film Threat panel. Plug 4 original IP. See Through Love. A Spanish teacher who could become invisible is shocked to discover the new teacher can see her Friesen press. So
I don't know what that means.
There's a new IP called See Through Love about a Spanish teacher. So I'm sure you guys maybe will watch that.
Well, this is actual.
I'm assuming, unless he's got a new idea, in which case, go for it. Dr. Fauci's pardon prison butt for 2. Jeremy said Man of Steel was better. I agree with Jeremy.
Who agrees? I agree. Man of Steel was better.
Sorry, I do. Yes.
Well, because Cavill. The seriousness.
It is a better through line.
No, I can't sit through Man of Steel again. I can sit through this one again.
Okay. Fair.
Jen McMahon for $4.99. Isn't the direct sequel Supergirl laugh out loud? Yes.
Yes, it's coming. Thanks, Jen.
Draconis gifted 5 Film Threat memberships.
Thank you, Draconis.
Trucker Mark, member for 13 months. Superman is an alien from another planet, not Mexican. Yes.
I kind of felt like they really... Did you get the feeling that Jor-El and Lara were speaking Hebrew?
Was that not confirmed that they are actually, in fact, speaking Hebrew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it confirmed?
I mean, Jerry and Joel Schuster were Jewish who made the character, so that would not be totally inappropriate.
Yeah.
Right? Joe Siegel. And
I just think that the thing with that actually I don't like at all.
The second part of the message?
Yes.
I hated that. I hated that.
Yeah, that was not good.
I'm not that hung up on
I was waiting for them to make
Alan,
that
it's just a real betrayal.
Something different,
right?
And like change it, make it better, and it never got better.
Yeah,
I hated that.
Like I just
Aram. Yeah.
Brandon Powell for 5. Love these out of the theater reacts. Sounds like I'm going to wait for home release for this. How's the score though? I love the Man of Steel. Please, there is just no comparison.
Okay,
to
Man of
Hans
Steel
Zimmer.
score is better than.
Oh,
Yeah.
that must have been painful to admit. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
The problem with the score is it doesn't fit the movie. It just
Yes.
it doesn't fit the movie.
No, they're just cutting and pasting, and then it's all studio music. It's not an actual orchestra.
Yeah.
Jerry D. Sills for 2. The Sith Lord Poet asks, should I watch or save money? I mean,
It's a good one. It's a watch. I mean, it's
A
fun.
matinee. Go to a matinee.
yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I would still recommend it. I'm just, I have tons of problems and I keep thinking of more.
Your review is going to be completely different by the time you process it and get to tomorrow.
Well, that's
saying.
why out of the theater reactions are always more positive. Then you think about it more. You let it sit, and you're like, well, this, that. But the things I liked, like the characters, like that's not going to change. So,
Dragon Master gives a super sticker, which unfortunately I cannot see. Trucker Mark for 5. Don't need this movie. Sorry, Christopher Reeves is my Superman.
There is a Reeve in the movie, by the way.
The Beast 808 member for 15 months. Aloha and blessings, Frank, Ing the Merciless, and Gents.
Thank you. Appreciate it, DeBeast.
And lady.
Yes. Press him to start for 2. Superman Pooperman, I'm going to bed.
Well, thanks, press him to start.
Ariane for 40. Sam Raimi would have nailed Superman. WB messed up.
Yeah,
like he did Doctor Strange.
People were trying to compare this to
Studio interference.
People were trying to compare this to Raimi's Spider-Man. Not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close.
With the animated series and Justice League Unlimited comparisons, that is such a disservice to those. Maybe just because there were other characters, but Granola Grin for 5. We shouldn't throw in the cape on superhero movies just yet. The Toxic Crusader could mop them all up this summer. Yes. Peter Dinklage. Ariane for 40. Gary is Superman similar to Thor, Love and Thunder.
Oh, I did like the fact that one of the robots named himself Gary at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Was that a reference to Gary?
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
In my mind.
We should all
100%.
We should all just say that's supposed to be Gary from Nerdrotic.
Yeah.
James Gunn secretly watches Friday Night Tights.
Oh, that might not be off base, actually.
Yeah. Here we
Watches everything else on social media. James DeMichel for $2.99. Clayface Clayface is the next DCU. It is in the DCU. James Gunn confirmed.
Oh,
okay.
So it's not Elseworlds. It's in the DCU. Nobody for 5. Question: does World work overall? Yeah, the World works.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not into it as much.
No, what?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't read DC comics.
But did you find it a believable world?
No.
Oh, okay.
Really?
That's fair. Ariane for 40. What was it? The last one? All season Superman should have been adapted in live. This kind of was all season Superman, at least a good amount of it. Archer Merchant for 10, joining late. Felt the monkeys were too heavy-handed, even for such a short cameo. The hashtag stuff. Feel like with the 2 countries, I had to stop and think if this might be a reference for Gaza. Of course, it wasn't Gaza. It was Russia and Ukraine. Yeah,
that's what I thought.
It was the other countries. Yeah, it was Russia and Ukraine, including you'll see. Bruce Leroy Jenkins for 2. Chris, did you wear your red undies over your? Yeah, did you commit to that bit?
I brought them, and then everyone wanted to talk about them. I had to get back to do the stream. Sorry.
Andy, member for 32 months. Hey guys, it's 3:30 a.m. in Argentina. Can't sleep, but you are entertaining me as always. I'm watching Superman on Friday. I hope it's as good as Man of Steel.
You'll enjoy it.
Andre Macris for 5. I'll see the movie tomorrow. If this Superman doesn't kill, it's a win for me. I know I will see some Gunnisms. I hope to like it.
There were jokes that I thought were great and others that landed with a dud.
There were Gunnisms for sure.
There were a lot of Gunnisms. That's something I had a problem with. Like at no point did he let a scene breathe without a joke. Like even when there was a serious scene, a serious conversation, something was happening in the background, and I'm just like, that's not needed. Trust your script enough to know that the audience can pay attention to this and like it. They don't need a spectacle in the background.
But Steph, interdimensional nymphs, Imperial Fist stand for 2. How would this movie age?
Not well. Man of Steel, I think, has aged well.
Like fine wine. Oh, Alan might not agree. Maybe watch it. When's the last time you watched it, Alan?
But this movie will not.
Maybe give it a look-see.
Yeah, because it leads right into Batman versus Superman and then into the Justice League.
This movie will not age well because it's too rooted in the era. It's about social media and a war conflict. It's
because none of that will ever happen again in the future.
Well, it's possible. Yes, you're right about that.
Big Bullion member for 19 months, 7.5 for a Superman movie. Could have easily been 8.5. And the doo-doo songs used were disappointing. Also, Angry Badger chill out on the zesty mannerisms. I'll have you know that's California straight. Thank you very much.
That's correct.
Andrew Cram gifted 20 Film Threat memberships.
Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate that.
Grizzly Nightmare 80 for 199. The Ben Cooper Inc. documentary is pretty good.
I didn't know there was a documentary. Thank you, Grizzly Nightmare. I'm going to look that up right now.
The Raven of the Writing Desk, just member for 25 months, over 2 years. Look at you.
Man, I'm looking up this documentary. I didn't know there was one. Aren't they still making Ben Cooper, like they're redoing? But I'm gonna look it up.
It's called Dressing Up Halloween, the story of Ben Cooper Inc.
Found it. It's on IMDb. I'll look it up. That's great. Thank you. Appreciate that.
The Beast. Excuse me, 808 for 2. Aloha and blessing, Steph. You know you're my favorite.
Thanks,
everyone's favorite.
Beast. Appreciate
it. Imperial Fist stand for 2. Tracking to only be a little bit Brave New World. Yeah, a little bit better than Brave New World.
Oh, really?
Opening weekend than Brave New World. Yeah. The last tracking we saw was 100 million domestic, 100 million international.
It's okay. James Gunn said the box office doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Isaac for Henry is still my Superman. Shout out Badger. Hell yes, Henry is still my Superman too.
Yeah. I just think, there is something to make flying convincing. I mean, the whole ad campaign for the Christopher Reeve Superman was "You will believe a man can fly." He really put physical acting into the flying. I feel like Cavill did that too. I feel like David Cornsweat's flying did not look great because of the way he acted. And am I wrong?
Him. No, that's the thing, though. It's really him. They have that rig that they showed that goes around, but there's something about that fisheye angle that they use that makes it seem like it's fake, even though it's really him. Yeah, you thought the flying was fine.
Hey, Tom saw it. I can't wait for Flashcast. I want to hear what everyone says there too.
Ariane for 40. Is this movie's goofiness similar to Thor: Love and Thunder?
No.
Ragnarok.
Not at all.
It's more on the Ragnarok level.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe because it's a lot of jokes, as Steph says. There's rarely a moment
but
not undercut.
Not Love and Thunder.
It's not Love and Thunder bad.
Duran for 5. If I had to pick a movie to watch this weekend, should I buy a ticket to Jurassic Park Rebirth or Superman? Well, Superman.
Superman. Yeah. Rebirth was bad.
This is bad.
Oh.
Oh, that family. Ryan Landis for 199. Was there a phone booth in the movie?
There was not.
It's 2025, man. There's no more phone.
There were a lot of cell phones and selfies and I just don't like this movie is so rooted in everything now. It's very much a modern Superman. And that may be a positive in the short term, but in the long term, it will not age well. This movie.
Yeah, but it needed to be modern. Like we can't keep going back to the old, phone booth version of Superman. We're in 2025. You have a whole universe that you have to put out there. We can't keep going back to the 70s or 80s.
And I don't mind that. In fact, he didn't change in and out of his Superman suit a lot. So
Yeah, it's
He
just
wasn't
it's
Clark
just cut to the
Kent.
next scene, and he was dressed as Clark Kent.
Clark Kent is barely in it.
Yes, he's barely
Frankly.
in it.
He's barely in it. But you know what is in it? Blowing a dog. It was in the movie.
That's right.
Blowing a dog. Right, Alan?
Yes, Superman blew a dog.
It was to save his life.
So this is the guy who's replacing Jennifer Lee, which we went in depth.
Why does Baby Alan keep interrupting?
Baby Alan's cute. That's why.
Oh God, some more just came in. Hey Andrew, thank you.
Andrew Cram for 20. Was there an American flag in the Superman film, or how patriotic is the film? It's not patriotic unless I missed
Not
it.
patriotic.
But it's not anti-American either. In a sense, I do think that Superman represents America. And this country saying, please come help us. They're asking in a way like America / Superman to help.
Zelensky, please help us.
You know what I mean?
Because Superman doesn't want to see people die. Who's been saying that recently? I don't know.
Who, Alan?
Just saying that maybe Superman.
People are dying. Excuse me. People are dying. I want to stop people from dying. Yeah, it's Superman's Trump. You're right, Alan.
Spider-Man was patriotic and religious. Actually.
There's no shot where he stands up or floats in front of the flag, and you just get that moment. There's nothing like that.
There's nothing like that. It was marketed as the human way, and it's definitely there's plenty of humanness in the movie.
But they never actually say that line in the film.
No, they don't say the human way. No.
Yeah. No, they don't even say the line. Period. Yeah.
They just avoided it. I bet you he cut it out. Fictitious Dave Savage for 2. Alan Gates, Man of Steel, I think hates or Gates because of BVS and Justice League.
No. Alan, no, I'm saying I hate Man of Steel, and the proof is because it led to Batman versus Superman and Justice League. That's how. Yeah, we hate everything.
Seem very fair.
That's what I'm saying.
Grizzly Nightmare for 199. Chris, the doc is on Tubi.
Thank you. I'm looking it up tonight. I'll watch it.
Travel Geek for 599. Has anyone ever acknowledged Badger's handsomeness? Just saying. Well, we like you, Travel Geek. Thank you. You're now one of the favorite people here. Thank you.
No one
we're talking about this meetup that's actually during San Diego Comic-Con. I'll bring up the I think there's a tweet somewhere.
How dare you, Tom?
I'll find it. There's Saturday night during San Diego Comic-Con. There is a meetup. It's the Big Man Comics. Gabe El-Taib. I'm gonna share screen right now because a lot of people on here. We want to let them know. Meetup. Gary will be there. Gabe El-Taib, myself, and Ing the Merciless.
Where did that picture come from?
Here's what sucks about this. The one thing that sucks. It's Saturday, July 26, 8 p.m. You know what else is happening at exactly the same time? I just found out about this. At Petco Park, they're playing Batman 1989 with an orchestra live.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
And you can buy tickets and go to Petco Park, see Michael Keaton on the big screen with a live orchestra. I just saw Jaws like that. It was great. And but if you're not going to go see that, come to the meetup.
By the way, I think War Games is coming to Petco Park. Anyone in? Anyone want to go?
Yeah. Keaton Carr 89 for 2.
That's it.
I'd give cash money to see Will Reeve in the suit. Oh, the son of Christopher Reeve. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the movie.
Imperial Fist Stand for 2. How well did the Kins get portrayed?
I did not like them.
They're country bumpkins.
Anyone like them?
They could barely speak.
The overacting, just overacting on both parts.
It was like, can we find the oldest, ugliest people ever and cast them as
and portray them as really dumb?
They're like white trash.
Yeah, like how do you go from Diane Lane and
peak Americana
Costner.
alpha male Kevin Costner,
Kevin
and Diane
Costner.
Lane.
Yeah,
Yes,
like
I know.
how do you go
Yes.
from that to what we got? Yeah, I did not
Because
like the
Gunn
kids.
said those are the people that he grew up with in Indiana.
It's like he was just trying to do the exact opposite of Snyder in every decision.
Yeah. When I was watching it, I was like, how does she not know how to use a phone? They're not even that old.
Right.
It just seems like they're dumb. He's making them look dumb.
Well, they're farmers.
How
It
about
doesn't
that
matter. I
opening-
live around a bunch of farmers. They're not dumb.
Right.
Yeah, but they don't have cell phone towers.
That comment, by the way, is really accurate because it's literally like, okay, the criticism of Man of Steel is he doesn't save enough people. Too many people are killed in collateral damage, and then the kids are too good looking and all that. Okay, fine. Well, they're country bumpkins. He only saves people. He gets his ass kicked through the whole. It's like literally they just did the opposite of the criticism.
Yes. Every decision Zach made, James Gunn did the opposite, and like the polar opposite.
Yes.
In almost every sense. Yeah,
He
I
could
did
have been
not
a
like.
little more generous with the Kents, though. I'm sorry. He could have been a little bit more generous, right? I mean,
yes.
Okay, they didn't have to be like super good looking people, but at least intelligent.
Yeah.
They were not great.
Ariane, for 40, this movie is similar to which movie in quality? Oh, fuck.
One thing I'll say on the positive, I felt kind of like a kid. And there were kids in my audience. They were loving it. And there were kids with families, who came with, they just brought the whole family and got tickets and got to see it. So I liked that they liked it. It brought me, back to like being a kid and seeing movies that left an impression on me. So
I would almost compare it to the first Shazam movie.
Okay. I can get on that. I was trying to think. Yeah.
yeah,
sure.
I mean, maybe.
That's fine.
That's the closest I can get to
that makes sense. Makes sense.
On the James Gunn scale, Guardians 2.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Imperial Fist stand for 2. So everything Man of Steel did well, this movie sucked at.
Correct.
Everyone's just gonna think we're Snyder bros, but yeah, I mean,
we're not. I like Man of Steel.
Man of Steel did something well.
But I don't know. I feel like you can like them for different reasons. But I think Man of Steel is still. I'm not gonna pop this one on, but I do put on Man of Steel and watch it every once in a while.
Gotta be watching it tonight. Ariane, for 40, do you think Superman will turn out better than Fantastic Four?
Yes.
Yes, I think so.
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah. Ronan for 4011 for 200 rubies. Hey guys, please check out Ramayana. It is a big budgeted Indian epic. Oh, well, Chris will be watching that. That could be comparable to Lord of the Rings. It's being produced by Charles Roven. Hans Zimmer is the composer. Well, you had me right there. And WB is in talks for distribution.
Ramayana. I'll look it up. Thank you.
Fictitious Dave Savage for 5. Man of Steel Superman saves the world's population twice in one day on his first day from the World Engine and Zod. Yep.
All right. It's Ramayana's coming out. Can't wait. So
Imperial Fist stand for 5. Just because kids liked it does not mean that that's a good thing, really. These are modern kids who have no good movies to compare to. Remember Minecraft.
No, I'm saying it's a good thing for the box office, for the health of superhero movies. I'm not saying it's a good thing for the plenty of bad movies make a lot of money.
Like Minecraft.
Jurassic World can make $1 billion.
Like Minecraft.
Yeah, like Minecraft.
We're gonna wrap it up there.
I don't know. I don't think Minecraft was a bad movie, but
how many
it was a good movie.
On a scale of 0 to how many gummies, Dante? How would you rate Minecraft?
Look, man, it was enjoyable for what it was.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'll say that about Superman.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, we're gonna leave it there. Thank you everyone who sent in a super chat. Everyone in the comments, Atomic Lori. Thank you. Thank you to I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you for everyone. I didn't expect everyone to want to jump on. And Gary too, Nirvana.
Strong emotions.
His book goes on sale on Friday. I will be pre-ordering one. I can't wait. Rip a Send goes on sale. So there you go. Anyone want to plug anything? Is anyone doing a stream after this? Dante, you're going live for how long?
Oh, hell no. I'm going to sleep, man.
I'm just going to bed.
Christ.
Steph, anyone else going live?
I'm not going live. Is DA live?
DA's live. Let's go to DA.
Go to DA.
Yeah.
Go to DA. Let's talk.
Badgercast tomorrow.
Badgercast
and Hollywood on the Rocks.
Yeah, it's Hollywood on the Rocks after
right
you guys.
Before Badgercast.
Yeah, or before. Yeah, you
Or
guys are
before.
one. You go into
Yeah, you guys can catch VRL on Thursday. I'll have a special guest, Ashton Blaze, will be joining me, and we'll just be talking about some stuff.
Nice. Okay, so thank you to everyone. We will see you tomorrow. And just Alan, you don't need to say it. No. And Alan, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, let's get out of here.